Revanchism on the part of those very globalist Western elites I already mentioned. Not to invoke ill omens, but it is already late in the evening. What do I mean? I already said it, and we all know it. Everyone was counting on the swift collapse of Russia. Within 6 months, everything was supposed to, in their view, fall apart. Enterprises were supposed to grind to a halt. The banking system was supposed to cease functioning. Millions of people were supposed to find themselves out on the street. We have, incidentally, the lowest unemployment of all G20 countries, 2.2% still. And everyone was counting on snatching something from Russia, grabbing something. Forgive the bluntness. Take Finland. Why did Finland join NATO? Did we have any territorial disputes with Finland? No. Everything was resolved long ago. Nothing was needed. And the Finnish leadership understood this perfectly well. So why did they go to NATO? In the hope that everything here with us would collapse, and they would be right there, ready to snatch and grab. And now they are already building a border fence along the Sestra River. I would make certain gestures and say certain things, but since I am from the cultural capital, I will refrain. I think that to a significant extent, what is happening is dictated precisely by considerations of this kind. But now, as the understanding sets in, that things are not so simple, that problems are arising, that overcoming them is rather difficult, and that it is better to seek ways of resuming normal relations, better to move towards some mutually acceptable agreements. And incidentally, we always built our relations with Europe on the principles of mutual respect and consideration of interests. That is not an empty diplomatic phrase. We actually operated that way. Not everyone talks to Europe that way today, but we always have, and only in that manner. But that was apparently not enough. I hope that the realization that this was an erroneous position is now emerging and will gain momentum and strength. And in the end, we will nonetheless restore relations with many countries that today are trying to anathematize our relations. But the sooner this happens, the better, for us and, in this case, for the European countries. Thank you very much. It is time to wrap up. Happy holiday.
Vladimir Vladimirovich, hello. Lana Samsonia, Interfax. Allow me to start with today, with your assessment, if I may. Today is a great, grand day. On the eve, U.S. President Donald Trump came forward with an initiative to declare a 3-day ceasefire. You supported it, and Zelensky supported it as well. However, on the eve of May 9th, there were still a number of serious provocative statements from Kyiv's side. How do you assess today? How did it go? Even the parade took place in a somewhat curtailed form due to security measures. And, if possible, your assessment of today. Thank you. Were there any provocations at all?
As for provocations, you can see that I am here at the Ministry of Defense. I have not yet been briefed on this, so I cannot say anything. I will return to my workplace now, and the military will brief me there. Regarding the parade, you know, we made the decision that this year it is not a jubilee, but nonetheless, it is still Victory Day. We decided that we would definitely hold festive events, but without a demonstration of military hardware. And not only for security reasons, but primarily because the armed forces must focus their attention on the final defeat of the enemy within the framework of the special military operation. As for the provocative statements, those decisions were made, of course, much earlier than all the statements you referred to as provocative. Regarding those statements, we responded to them, as you know. Initially, the Ministry of Defense made a certain statement. It is well known that in the event of an attempt to disrupt our festive events, we would be forced to deliver retaliatory strikes, massive missile strikes on the center of Kyiv. What is unclear about that? That was precisely what was envisioned as retaliatory action. We did not stop there. That was followed by a note from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Those are already documents, not merely statements. But we did not end there either. We began working with our main partners and friends, first and foremost with our friends from the People's Republic of China, from India, and with some other countries, including beginning work with the administration of the United States of America. What kind of work? We simply outlined for our friends, colleagues, and partners the picture that could take shape. We have no desire to aggravate or worsen relations with anyone. And that could have happened, bearing in mind that all centers of command and decision-making in Kyiv are in close proximity to the diplomatic missions of a whole range of countries. There are several dozen of them there. That is the point. And when we began such a dialogue with the administration of the United States of America, we warned them about this, showed them the possible consequences, and asked them to do everything necessary to ensure the security of their country's diplomatic mission. As a result of all these discussions, the initiative of the President of the United States, Mr. Trump, emerged for an additional 2 days of ceasefire and a prisoner exchange during those 2 days. We immediately agreed to this, especially since, in my view, it is a justification